Welcome back to Let's Not Argue with myself and Mr. Sean Thomas.
Yeah.
The king of the Uptown,
Yes, sir.
CEO. We are back for our 2021 season. We took some time off. I allowed Sean to work on the recipes I gave him for the restaurant. It's Go Vegan Philly down in Wilmington, Delaware. Definitely check them out. And you know they were successful, so I said, "Yeah, come on, let's come back and start the show back up." So since you're
Listen, cuz
everything was successful.
yeah, you funny, man. You always make me laugh, yo. And this is something we can get to an off air, but my little cousin wants to get into podcasting, and I told him, you got to call cuz up, man. He's been doing this thing for a while, and I mean, he's actually our cashier. LeVar.
Okay.
He shoots those videos that you might see us posting. He's the ones that's talking behind. He's the man behind those videos.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So his personality is through the roof, man. Awesome, man. He can touch on many subjects. I think y'all would, be awesome. Another guy you could bring on. You do a segment with him, I guess, from time to time, man.
Well, let's set up a meet at the restaurant because I'm gonna need one of them Broad Street bullies.
Come on now, let's go.
I get down.
Let's go.
But yeah, let's definitely do that.
Yes.
But things have been going. Let's talk about the videos. Of course, let's put the social media out there so people can see the videos that you're talking about.
So you got to hit up Go Vegan Philly. That's Go Vegan _Philly on Instagram, and the same on Facebook. Go Vegan _Philly on Facebook, and y'all can go see those beautiful videos that my little cousin LeVar shoots right there live in the restaurant and get live commentary about the food and the atmosphere and the way, customer service, we'll be going to be talking about today. So yeah, man, go check us out.
Shout out cousin LeVar, man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely looking forward to linking with you.
Yes, sir.
So we want to get right into it. When talk about, there was a video that you posted on that was posted on social media. And basically what it was talking about was the gist of it was the customer service that you provide. And it got me to thinking, I've been to many businesses, especially self-owned businesses, I guess, for lack of a better term, where the customer service just has not been up to par.
Right.
And I've learned, growing up that, of course, when you grow up in a place like where you grew up and I grew up, you go to places sometimes and we get treated a certain way and we don't really understand good customer service because we've been treated a certain way anyway. So we kind of got used to the way we got treated. And then sometimes in turn, we turn into entrepreneurs and opening our own businesses and we never experienced the good customer service.
Right.
And we don't know how to provide the good customer service sometimes. And a lot of times, some of the complaints about some of our businesses that I've heard are sometimes about the customer service.
Right.
Now, you being a restaurateur, an entrepreneur, many things over. I'm not even going to get into some of the other things that you've done.
Right.
But you provide a customer service that I feel is second to none.
Like no other.
Now, I'm going to say, it could be me personally, but, I'll reach out to you and you'll say, boom, boom, boom. And I know you have a number that's supposed to be called, but I never know the number. So I always reach out to you or I reach out to Jess or whatever the case may be. But your customer service is very good, second to none. How did you learn your customer service? Was it something that you learned coming up? Is it something that you had to develop as you created your business? Like, where does your customer service styling come from?
First, I learned get my customer style from, like you said, us growing up in a certain environment and experiencing that bad customer service or that, that horrible customer service. And just kind of taking it, that's just the norm. That's just how we treat each other. It's just how we talk to each other. And then, second, really just being the person who I am. honestly, just a soulful guy, man, just a nice person. So, I take those experiences and who I am, and then, I come up with how I'm going to treat people, I believe, the first thing you encounter or the first service you get when you come into somebody's business, the first thing you meet are people first.
Absolutely right.
Before you, no matter how many pictures or videos you saw of the food online, when you come through somebody's door of their business, the first thing, the greeting, the first thing that happens is somebody has to say something to you or meet you or, like greet you, So that's the first food you taste is the customer service.
Okay.
That's the first thing. That's before appetizer and entree. The first thing you actually get at the restaurant is customer service, how somebody talks to you, and treats you while you're waiting for your food. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm big on that with my employees. How we treat people with dignity and respect and kindness. The whole ride through, no matter. Because you can get some a-hole customers, in any business you can get that, but we never crack. We never allowed them to take us anywhere, So a lot of people, give us praise for how we treat people, and I'm just like, I figure that's how you're supposed to treat people, So like you said,
have you ever had a situation where you've had a situation come up where you look back at it and say, you know what, I probably could have or should have handled that in a different way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Too many to count. You know what I mean? I think that's just life. You know what I mean? That's just life.
And learning from that.
And learn. You're supposed to. That's life. You're supposed to learn from that. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be mistake free, but it's how many times do you make that mistake?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's how I count it. That's how I look at it. How many times? You know what I mean? Then if you're making that time at the time, then that's just you.
Right.
That's who you are. You don't want to change. You don't plan to change. You don't plan to learn. You know what I'm saying? So, you have those experiences and you learn from them, and going forward, it should make you better. You know what I mean? As a person, or in your business, or in your personal life and your business life. You know what I'm saying?
Give me an example of something that has changed your view on how you provide your customer service. For example, maybe no, that's the kind of a bad example. Let's say someone didn't like something. Okay. And they didn't. What's for you as the owner of the business? What's the process you go through if somebody is not happy with an order? Let's say they're not happy with it. What are you going to do?
For me, and being a CEO of Go Vegan Philly, the thing I always try to do is, is satisfy the customer first. You know what I mean? If they don't like something, then I'm always willing to, like, well, we have other things that we can, go down the list, and you pick something, and, we see if you do like that, I'll always give them that option, and then I'm the type to just say, I probably shouldn't say this on air, but, give you a free meal. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
And I said, I probably
careful
say
with
that
that
now. Everybody be like, well, I ain't like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
well, if you don't like it, don't eat it.
Right.
Don't eat it, because they'll eat the whole thing and say,
I just had a customer this past weekend. That she's been there before. She likes everything, but she ordered one of our dishes. And it wasn't that she didn't like it. She just didn't expect it to be what it was. So I think the texture, maybe a little bit of texture kind of bother her. And me, I'm like, well, the next time you come back, whatever else you pick on the menu, it's on me. It's on the house, just to make good on it.
Is that something you run into a lot, being that it's vegan food, and you kind of imitate, in a sense, things that are not vegan, like you have the chicken, the seafood, and all like that?
Surprisingly, no.
Really?
We get the opposite reaction. Like, I didn't think it was going to be this good. You know what I mean? I didn't think.
I don't mean the taste. I'm talking about from a texture standpoint.
Oh yeah. So we get, like, people to say, like, man, the texture is kind of like with our crab cake. Say, like, this like real crab cake. The way it breaks up, and the texture is like. So we get the opposite. We get the thing, like, people really shocked that we kind of like nail it sometimes. Like, wow, that's like fish, that's like crab cake, that's like, a cheesesteak. So they really shocked by how good we, got it that good,
Okay.
to be like what they remember, or, just a traditional thing. You know what I'm saying? So we get that a lot, you know what I mean? As opposed to, people kind of being like, well, it's not what it's not the texture, it's not good. We tend to get the other thing, like, man, this is like,
Okay.
so people be like, man, you lying, there's some crab in here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? So we get that a lot, you know what I mean?
Let's shift gears a little bit. We were talking about customer service and how you deal with customer service. We can come back to that. But I wanted to talk about you as the business owner, you as a person. I talk to a lot of business owners, many different fashions and forms, and I always ask them this question: how do you balance your business life and your personal life to be able um, for both to be able to exist? So, for instance, I know some people that own like 3 and 4 businesses, and they have to tend to these businesses, but they also have to tend to their own health. They have to tend to their own families and stuff like that. How do you balance that out for yourself?
So I kind of like took like cues and stuff from people who was doing this before me. And
Okay.
I kind of, talk to them and just see, where they may have went wrong in that aspect, with some things. And, you know, I'm, I'm a very good, I believe listener,
Okay.
so I take info in real good, and then I assess it, and then I say, okay, some things are kind of unavoidable. I mean, you got to work to make money. You got to,
Right.
so coming out of the gate, I said, I'm going to give myself, and go vegan, 2 days off. Some people normally go into a business, or especially restaurant business, and be like, they work every single day,
Right.
7 days a week,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
7 days a week. And in this business, at least right now, um, you have to, especially if you're the person that crafted and created these recipes and things up front, is what I call, you got to produce a body to make the money.
What do you mean
So
by that?
I mean, I have to literally be there in the kitchen. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
I
Mhm.
have to produce the body to make the money. So like a
Mhm.
comedian, like, I just can't just give my jokes to my cousin and say, go on stage for me, I got a tummy ache. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Right.
have to produce the body that night to make the money. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I just said, okay, I'm gonna make sure I set aside some days, some time for my family, and not overwork myself, because I've seen a lot of people, friends of mine that own businesses, kind of get exhausted and
Mhm.
overwhelmed with the schedule that they set for themselves.
And
Um,
it's funny. My wife, a lot of times, we're getting in the world right now. We're getting going towards a sense of normalcy.
mhm,
And if you remember, before we started the show, we had to keep it because I had baseball. I was
mhm,
calling high school basketball and football games. I was doing a whole bunch of different things, and we're kind of getting back into that. I actually left one baseball gig, and then because of the pandemic, I had nothing to do because the high school baseball was done. So I went to another baseball gig, and now they like me, and they're putting me on different things.
uh-huh,
And then I just broadcasted another game last Thursday, and they're looking for me to do some more. But my wife always says to me, "You're going to burn yourself out. You're doing too much."
right.
But with me, I say that because I want to know if it's the same with you. I don't feel that I'm going to burn myself out. I mean, it,
Mhm,
it could happen because I don't feel like I'm
mhm,
working,
mhm,
hard. I feel like
right.
when you're enjoying what you're doing, it's not like you're
Oh yeah,
excited about it. It's not.
right.
Is that? Do you get that same type of
Yep.
feeling?
Yep. I knew you was going with that. It's like, I'm doing what I want to do.
Hmm.
So it just doesn't feel like work, but I still have to remember that even when I'm doing that, it does take time.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
It does take
Exactly.
time. You know what I mean? So I got to be mindful of that time, that I'm doing that. I'm away from my family. I'm away from my
Hmm.
wife. I'm away from my kids, and, I try to set the schedule to still be able to get adequate sleep. You know,
Hmm.
we're raised or taught especially black men, and I'm quite sure, probably white men and any other kind of man the same way that, the man must provide and you got to work and so we think work, move around, make it look like you're doing something,
Right.
just get,
Right.
you know what I mean? And when actually, personally, I think it's the opposite, don't work, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't work, you know what I mean? It's about not working, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Making money in your sleep. You know what I mean? That way, when you rise up, you can spend all the time you want with your family and vacation and do things and, never be away from them because, I set up businesses that can make me coins while I'm sleeping.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And a lot of people don't understand that word, the passive income. That's
Passive. There you go.
money you're making while you're sleeping, money
Right.
you're making while you're not working.
So that you don't feel like, every single dollar that I make, again, I got to go back to, I have to produce a body for it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The people that own Coca-Cola, they don't make the soda. You know what I mean? They're not making it themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you want to get into that game where it's, I'm hands off, but the money comes in. You know what I mean?
Right. I have a couple of friends that own gyms.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, they got into it because they love training and all like that. But then they got to a point where it's like, I'd rather hire a trainer,
right,
and have them do. And I'm behind the scenes running things,
right.
and it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Real quick, I do want to say one thing. Make sure if you have any comments, anything, you can post them below or post them on the page. I do see, we are live. I actually didn't mean to go live, but we are live. And you can hit us up at 215-486-0335. That's the New Twist Radio text community. If you see that up there, New Twist Radio, that is the station that we broadcast on. This show will be airing at 9 p.m. tonight Eastern time on newtwistradio.com. So definitely check that out and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at New Twist Radio. This episode, as well as other episodes of Let's Not Argue, will not only be on our YouTube channel, but will be on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Spreaker, Spotify, Deezer, all that good stuff where y'all listen to y'all podcasts, Amazon, all that. You can check us out there and definitely be a part of our community. Talking with Sean Thomas, CEO of Go Vegan Philly, also
yes, sir.
King of the Uptown. He wears
and
it proudly.
Yes, sir. And just touching on what we just talking about, that's the part that can exhaust a person when you physically have to be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you physically have to be in all of these different places, you know what I mean, for it to happen. Like, it can't happen without me. So I have to be there. This is the thing that can exhaust a person. They can take no time off because it can only happen when they're there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the part where the exhaust comes in. It's just the overwhelming and the mental breakdown and on the physical breakdown. Because it's like, you got 4, 5, 6 different things going on. And you've created these 4, 5, 6 different spaces where you have to be there.
Yeah. And that can wear you out.
That can wear you down.
So let me tell you a quick story about, a little bit about me. So, I was working in broadcasting TV, still working in broadcasting to this day, but I worked in, for a sports company. I'm not going to put the company out, but sports company was doing high school, college sports, professional sports. And I was always behind the scenes, whether it be, a camera, audio, graphics, whatever case may be. And I would always see the people that were coming to announce the game. They would always come into the truck before they went out to the booth, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't even have to. I had to be there. It depended on the position. Some people had to be there 6, 7 hours in advance. I had to be there 2 hours in advance, right? The announcers had to only be there maybe an hour in advance. And I'm like, they come in here, get some notes from the producer, then they go out there. And all they got to do is talk about the game the whole time. I said, that's where I need to be.
Right.
Because their job is extremely important because they're the voice that the audience is hearing.
Right.
And nothing happens without the people behind the scenes. But in a sense, they get to talk about sports.
Right.
Right. They get to talk about sports and then they get to leave when they're done. They don't have to clean up. They don't have to
do anything. Right.
I said, that's where I need to be. I need to be on that point right there because they probably have the least amount of stress going, for this entire broadcast.
That's that helped me gain a whole new respect for the people that have to set the stadium up, clean it before and clean it after. And, those are kind of the invisible people that we don't think enough.
Man, have you ever been like the first person, not the first, but one of the first people into the stadium and see how clean it is?
Yeah.
I've been with, I used to work at a job that was in the Wells Fargo Center, and we were there when nothing was going on.
Right.
Spick and span. You would never think anything went on in there.
Right. And just coming off of that, I look at a Jeff Bezos or, anybody like that. And, he's not packaging up anything. What I mean? He's not bringing it to your doorstep. He's not putting anything in the box, but the money is going to his box. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not saying that he's not doing anything because he's the CEO. So, the CEO's job is to keep his head up and looking down the road towards the future to keep this thing rolling. But, he's not at anybody's fulfillment center putting anything in the box and packaging nothing. No. You know what I'm saying?
If he is at the fulfillment center, he's probably in a suit walking by.
Yeah, just walking by just to make sure things are running smoothly and cool.
As we get ready to wrap this up, you said something that as the CEO, what is the future, or can you even speak to the future yet? Maybe you don't want to speak to what's the future for Go Vegan Philly?
So the future for Go Vegan Philly now is we have some cool things coming up. So right now, I let it out the bag. Working on
right here, exclusive.
Right here. We're working on our own juice brand. I
was just thinking about that today. That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? See how it works, cuz? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, thank, Tropicana or Minute Maid. You know what I mean? So that's my next venture. Is working on that there, and I have something else too, but I'm not gonna say that one just yet.
Damn it! Oh, we had two.
So, and I could say this one too. So we're gonna also putting together our bakery section of Go Vegan Philly.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. I had listen. I think I told you before, but when I was down there for the soft open, I had the cookie. Just maybe I forgot, but maybe you can remind me what it was.
Yeah,
s'mores. That's what it was. Because I remember telling I've never had a s'more before, like a real, campfire s'more, whatever, however you make them things. And I was like, man, this is a bad. I finished cooking before I got to the car.
We can't keep that stuff in the restaurant, man. It's selling out every day. So it was like, okay, got it. And the next thing is to get this bakery, vegan bakery, vegan, penny candies, all that type of stuff we're gonna have going on.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay. That's gonna be
sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait. Well, look, like I said, we're gonna keep it short today. We just wanted to come back and give y'all some information. Of course, put the address out there for them.
That's 607 North Lincoln Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19805.
There you go. That's Go Vegan Philly CEO,
yes,
Mr.
Sir.
Sean. I gotta ask you this, man.
Go ahead.
I gotta ask because I kind of saw something, so I gotta know. You got some music coming out?
Yes, I do.
I saw the video. I shot some of it at the restaurant. I need to know. I need to know.
Yes, I do. Working on it now, putting some finishing touches on it.
Okay. All right. Sir. I'm still waiting to give you my bar and a half, but it's all good. All right.
Yes,
sir. Or at least a skit. I can do a skit for you.
Skit. Right? You're right.
But look, appreciate you, man. We'll talk again next week. We'll talk before that, but we'll talk again next week right here on the New Twist Radio YouTube channel. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Subscribe. What do they say? Subscribe, like, and share, something like comment.
Yep.
You know what they say. I'm relatively new to this part of it.
Whatever they say, do it.
What they say, you do it for me too. But we're gonna get out of here. This is for Sean Hollywood Thomas of Go Vegan Philly and myself. I want to thank y'all for being with us. We out of here. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.